Hello, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I am about to do FSA prep. Like, I don't know where this year went, but I can't believe we're in this. So anyway, I'm going to go through these. You can pause, you can review, however you want. This is your session. So, week one, question one. It says week one is because there are 3 weeks of prep, and I wanted to just break them all down. All right. So at the local aquarium, there are 10 dolphins, 8 penguins, and 4 whales. What is the ratio of penguins to whales? So a ratio, if we remember a while ago, let me get my pen going, can look like this with dots. It can look like this as a fraction, and that's read as like xy or xy. Like, it can be read all different ways. Okay, so it looks like these are all in dot form. So the first thing I noticed is it wants the ratio of penguins to whales. So penguins, because it was read first, is going to be my first numbers. How many penguins are there? Oh, there's 8. Okay, so there's 8 penguins, 2, which is my colon. And then the next thing it wants is 2 whales. Sorry, and there are 4 whales. Should have done the blue. So we have 8 penguins to 4 whales. So we have an 8 to 4 ratio. Now, if you look at this, none of them are there. None of 8 to 4 is not on there. That's because ratios work like fractions, and they have to be simplified. So remember, this could also be 8 to 4, read this way, in which both of these can be divided, but they have a common factor, and it is the number 4. So we can divide them both by 4, and then we get 8 divided by 4 is 2, 4 divided by 4 is 1, and we end up with a 2 to 1 ratio. All right, number 2. If 4 gallons of milk cost $16.76, how much would 7 gallons of milk cost? Okay, so this is another ratio. So we are going to put gallons at the top. We're going to put money at the bottom. And the reason why I'm writing these is because I am creating a proportion, is what I'm creating, but I want to make sure that they're lined up the right way. So if I put gallons at the top, it says 4 gallons, so that number 4, goes with $16.76. We have $16.76. All right, so then the next information we have is the number 7 gallons. So in my other proportion, you're like, well, where do I put this? Oh, that's right. I decided that all the gallons were going to go at the top. So I put a 7 here. Now, what we don't know is the money. We don't know how much 7 gallons costs. So in this case, we're going to put a variable. We're going to put X because we don't know what it is. So in a perfect world, we would be able to just say, oh, 4 times something is 7. And so we can just do the same to the denominator. But we can't. So I don't really know 4 times something is 7. I don't know what that answer is, but I can figure it out. So when you have something like this, and it's not as easily like, oh, this, we have to cross multiply. So we're going to cross multiply 4 times x, okay, and that turns into 4x. We don't know what x is. We can't write it any differently. All right, now we're going to do, ooh, not that. Wrote that a little big. Now we're going to do 7 times 16.7. That I do not know off the top of my head, but I do know how to multiply decimals. So we have to remember our rules, 16.76 times. Now the 7 can be here. It does not need to be underneath the whole number because decimals, when you don't have to line them up when we're multiplying them. I know it's a lot of rules. All right, 7 times 6 is 42. So put the 2 down here and a 4. 7 times 7 is 49, plus 3 more is 53. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 5 more is 47. And then 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 more is 11. Now we use our cute little decimals where I know there's 2 numbers behind a decimal, so I move the decimal 2 places. All right, so 4x equals 117.32. Now, look at this. That answer is on there. They are trying to see if all you did was cross multiply and then you're good to go. And that's not right. They are trying to make sure that you know what you're doing. All right. So what we still have is this 4x, and I'm so sorry. I'm going to write this in the blue. So I still have to get x by itself. That's what I don't know. But it's currently being multiplied to this 4. So we know how to do inverse operations. We just divide both sides by 4. This is the step it's trying to see if you don't know. You naturally want to be like, oh, look, I did the math and there's it, but it's not that. We still have to divide by 4. These will cross out because we have a multiplication and a division. So we're finally get x by itself, but now we've got to do this cute little problem. 4 into 117.32. Okay, 4, 117.32. Oops. And you shoot that decimal up. Okay, 4 can't go into 1, but 4 can go into 11. It can go in 2 times. I would bring down the 7. Now, if you are someone where you're having trouble lining up all of these numbers, I do recommend using lined paper or something and just turning it to the side. But you want to make sure that you just line everything up. 4 can go into 37 9 times, which is 36. Oops, sorry, forgot to subtract. Bring down that 3. 4 can go into 13 3 times. 4 times 3 is 12. And finally bringing down that 2. And then 4 goes into 12 3 times, and I don't even have a remainder. But look at there, 29.33. This is my answer. Isn't that crazy? It wanted, so even though that 117.32 was on there, that's a good trick. It's not the answer. They're making sure that you truly remember that you did this 4x in the first place. Okay. Question number 3. Oh, and for question number 2, if for any reason I did any of that too fast, too slow, anything like that, you just redo it and you pause it and rewind it. It was a lot of steps for one problem. Okay. Question number 3. Which of the following values will result in a quotient that is less than 1 when it is divided by 1/2? That is a lot of information, a big question. So let's go ahead and do this one together. Which of the following values will result in a quotient? So I'm going to stop right here. I have to think about what that word quotient means. If you don't know, go ahead and pause the video and see if you could figure out what quotient means. So quotient is the answer to a division problem. So I know that I am dividing something I don't really know, but I know I'm dividing because I'm looking at a quotient that is less than 1, so that's my other clue, when it's divided by 1/2. This is crazy. It's a lot of information. So what it's asking you is if I take this number, if I take A, which is 2 1/4, and I divide it by 1/2, will I get an answer that is less than 1? That's what it's asking you. So let's go ahead and try to do this, okay? So this is a mixed number. This is a fraction. We need to turn this one into a fraction even if it's improper. Okay. So we do 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 1 more, which is 9, and we keep our denominator. Divide 1/2. Now, If what I am doing here is confusing you, then I would make sure that you review dividing fractions. That's what we're doing, is dividing fractions. So if for any reason you're like, oh gosh, I don't know what she's doing, this would be something you can look up in Khan Academy, dividing fractions. All right. So I know the rule of dividing fractions. It is keep, change, flip. So I have 9 over 4 times 2 over 1. So keep, change, and flip. 9 times 2 is 18. 4 times 1 is 4. And I know that both of these can be divided by 2 to simplify. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 9 over 2. Now, I know that you can leave it as an improper fraction because all we're trying to determine is if it's greater than 1. And I know it is because its improper fractions are always bigger than 1. So it cannot be A. Okay, so let's go to B. We're going to do this all together. Now, I am going to start going a little bit faster. Again, if you need to pause it, you want to take a break, you want to check your answers, you can absolutely do that, just for time's sake. So let's do 1/2. 1/2 divided by 1/2. Keep, change, flip. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. This simplifies to 1. Now I'm looking for answers that are less than 1, so that one's not going to work either. All right, let's do another one. Nice, clear. 3 over 10 divided by 1/2. I'm going to keep, change, flip. 3 times 2 is 6. 10 times 1 is 10. And I know both of these can be divided by 2. So that gives me 3 over 5. That is less than 1 because it's not even a whole part. Hey, so it's definitely C. C's in there. All right. Oops. 5 over 9 divided by 1/2. Keep, change, flip. I know that this is an improper fraction because 10 is greater than 9, so it's not going to be less than 1. Again, I am sorry. If I am going too fast, you just slow down. Pause the video and you try it, and then you can go back. 1 2/3 divided by 1/2. I'm going to convert this. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 more is 5, divided by 1/2. Keep, change, flip. 10 over 3. Nope, it's not going to work. That's bigger than 1. Okay. Last two, we can do this. 1/5 divided by 1/2. 1 over keep, change, flip. 2 over 5. That is under 1. Perfect. Look at us. And the last one right before this video ends is 7 over 15 divided by 1/2. Keep, change, flip. 14 over 15. That is under the number 1. Barely, but it's there. Okay, I know I went fast in this last one, but you are welcome to pause and rewatch it and rewind, and there will be more videos.